You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. There's something to that, man. You guys are familiar with Robert Guffey and the Camelio story? You guys heard of that? All right, you guys got to look into this. This is great. Robert Guffey wrote a book called Camelio. It's about, he was interviewing this gentleman who was having illegal surveillance by the government on him because they thought he stole some sort of military goggles. It's a whole convoluted story. It gets crazy though. These not only Men in Black type people start following him around, but they start using highly exotic technology to survey him and harass him, including this cloaking technology. They'd send little people into his house, like little dudes, not midgets, but smaller men, under these cloaking machine, like this advanced, cloaking technology that would make them
always like. Is it just like Ant-Man shit?
That would make these people invisible.
Yeah.
They'd push them around. They do all kinds of stuff. This technology could also make you hallucinate. It was some sort of frequency-based technology that could make you see things that weren't there. And they were doing all of this stuff to this guy to get him to admit that he stole these advanced military goggles, but in reality he didn't. But you guys got to check out that story. But my point with this is, how fucking advanced is this technology that our military industrial complex and these black projects have possession of, and to what lengths are they going to go to get us to believe their narratives and the UFO narrative? I believe they're already using this, from what I've heard, that they can pretty much mimic almost anything that we would call paranormal activity, poltergeist activity, disembodied voices. And this is kind of disturbing, but Robert Guffey believes that what's happening at Skinwalker Ranch, everything that's happening at Skinwalker Ranch, is one big government experiment. They're just testing out all the crazy shit that they know how to do there. That's disturbing enough. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I
believe a lot of that.
Fascinating. Sorry, go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to give humanity more credit than aliens. So I think like people built the pyramids and people built Stonehenge and people built the transistor, and that like it didn't get recovered from Roswell. I don't think that discounts the aliens exist, but I definitely think that the amount of technology it takes to impress the human brain is not that much. It's not like we would need some intergalactic different entity to come and blow our minds. Like,
dude, the first time I saw VR porn, I was like, holy shit.
Right, dude. And honestly, I mean, like the human eye, right? This one goes to like a root of my whole sort of philosophy. But so many people give all the credit to the things that they personally experience. I went through it, or I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, your eyes see less than a fraction of a percent of visible light. The vibrations that you can detect are extremely rudimentary compared to, like digital devices that you could use. So like when people start talking about their personal experience, it feels like it has even less credit than it should. Going all the way back, and I always like to throw my homeboy Rene Descartes out there, where he actually went back and said, I don't believe the things that my eyes are seeing, because I know my eyes are just connected with these optic nerves, and the optic nerves are basically just little tendrils, and all you got to do is just wiggle that tendril, and now all of a sudden I see something. And if that's something that you can just cause to happen, and the reason why this came is that if you get hit in the back of the head really hard, right, you see like a flash of white. And he kind of theorized that was just all of your optic nerves just all getting agitated at the same time, which represented what we think is light. So like he breaks this down into like, I don't even believe what my own eyes see. So how can I believe what you tell me you saw? And I kind of bring that one like all the way with me all the time. So when it's about like, oh, I saw this thing in the sky, my first thought is, how much technology would it take to convince you thought you saw something in the sky? And for most people, it's like a spotlight that was invented in the late 1800s, maybe a laser that was invented in like the 60s or 70s. All of these, like the voices in the head, that could be voice to skull technology. It could be bone conduction technology. There's so many things that we've had for 2 or 3 or 4 generations. that can simulate almost all these different types of paranormal activity.
Dude, they can simulate the effects of DMT with something called an Angelamp. It's this technology that within a certain radius, they're using it at Skinwalker Ranch. Ryan Burns is some people in his crew are using this.
I need to get me one of those.
Yeah, within a certain radius, it'll mimic the effects of DMT and cause like hallucinations and shit. So
And there
this
was
is
something called
stuff
the
that
God
we can get
helmet
our
that
hands
sounded
on.
like
The God
that.
helmet. Yeah.
That was like a localized version you would put on your head, and it would stimulate sort of a psychedelic or you know, like a divine experience essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, so that's where I go. Is I give humans way more credit and the technology, and I think our own technology is definitely going to enslave us way faster than aliens coming to the Earth and enslaving us.
Well, then I have the other side of that. I had a guest, Nick Hayes, who is a professional photographer, and he learned how to combine different types of lenses, takes pictures of the sky, and they have fucking like fish and amoebas and giant entities and crazy shit up there that we can't see with our own vision. But he's taking pictures of these things. You guys got to get him on your show too.
That's
Nick
awesome,
Hayes.
man.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool, man.
Some of the pictures he's taken is incredible. I mean, like you see things with tentacles, you see amoebas, what looks like skyfish, and they all look like these plasma type creatures, like these energetic type entities. So that's pretty crazy. So that's the other side of it. I think there are things like that we can't fucking explain out there that just beyond the spectrum of our vision, but we probably got our dirty hands into some technology that can mimic some of this stuff.